Welcome to the Moon Tribe podcast. I'm Simona Shimanovic, your host. I'm here to inspire heart-led entrepreneurs and conscious leaders to follow their purpose and create a life of freedom, wealth, and magic. Welcome to Aquarius season in 2024, my friends. And we just had a major shift in energy. I don't know if you've been feeling it, as the sun has been entering into Aquarius on the 20th, 21st of January. But this year, together with one of the major events in astrology this year, which is that Pluto has also shifted now from the last degree of Capricorn and moved into Aquarius. So that really gives us an extra boost in Aquarian energy. It is one of the big themes of this year. So I'm going to be sharing with you today about Aquarius energy. There's so much to talk about. I will try my best, make it as clear as possible. So the sign of Aquarius is very exciting, and it's also very important for the times we are in. I'm sure many of you have heard about the Age of Aquarius. So we are shifting now more and more into the Age of Aquarius, right? I think we can really feel that at this point. So just to give you a little bit of a feeling of the themes of Aquarius that we're going to be working with also in these next weeks here on the Moon Tribe podcast. So the sign of Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus. Uranus is one of the planets that is quite far out in our solar system, and it has only been more recently discovered. So not like the inner planets, but Uranus has been discovered later. And so it brought in this kind of new archetype of Aquarius. And maybe we should just go back to look back at where we were in Capricorn season. That was a lot about, creating structures and creating rules and manifesting. So as we transcend and move further from Capricorn season, Aquarius is now really about breaking free and breaking away from all these structures. So Aquarius brings this kind of urge for freedom and for questioning the rules, not just following all the rules that have been established, but really finding your own way with it all. So Aquarius is about a healthy disregard for the rules, and it's also said to be the sign of the rebel or of the misfit. And we're going to be talking more about that, what that means. But it's about really not just following the crowd and not just following the rules blindly, but walking your own path. And that is also what is often required to truly follow our purpose and to truly express our unique soul essence that we've been talking about recently, because it might be something completely new that doesn't exist yet, right? So if that resonates with you, if you feel something is coming through that is a completely new, we need to have this ability to, venture on our own path. It's like, instead of walking on the trodden path like everyone else, it's like going into the jungle and making your own path. It takes a certain adventurousness to do that, right? And a certain inner power. So with Aquarius, maybe also just to backtrack for a moment, we are nearly in the end now of the astrological cycle. So Aquarius is one of the last signs, followed only by Pisces, which is the very last, the 12th sign of the zodiac. Aquarius is the 11th sign, ruling the 11th house as well. And it really is a very advanced energy. So it's like in astrology, you can imagine that each sign is like a certain stage of evolution as a human or a certain stage of growth in our life. So when we come around to Aquarius and Pisces, we've been there and we've done that. We've been through a lot of the lessons. And now we are moving into seeing really a bigger picture. And so Aquarius is also one of the last signs that are said to be the transpersonal signs: Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So they are not only so much more about our own personal journey, and also not so much only about our family or relationships, but it's about now zooming out into the bigger whole on the level of society, or even beyond the cosmos, which is where we are moving now with Aquarius and Pisces. Aquarian energy has to do a lot with community, with collaboration, with co-creating together. It's said to be the sign of humanity, and really also an energy we can work with to solve the bigger problems on the planet. So Aquarian energy is about humanitarian issues and about the global things. It wants to create equality. It wants us to come together in community and to collaborate. One thing that I really love about Aquarius and Aquarian energy, and it took me a while to understand that, is that for me, Aquarius energy has to do with the energy of a swarm. So if you know, in nature, there are these beautiful swarm of fish, which are like swimming together, right? They are swimming quite fast and they're swimming together. And the same, the birds. If you see a swarm of birds in the sky, I love watching them. I think it's so fascinating. They are all flying together, sometimes at a high speed, right? And they're going together, and everyone is leading and everyone is following at the same time. And so for me, this is a really important metaphor for this Aquarian intelligence, because there's a bigger intelligence that is guiding them. They are kind of tuned into the field together, and they are moving together as one. So it's a coming together in community to activate a higher intelligence that is not possible just by yourself. So even saying that, I feel very excited. Just imagine, like the brightest minds, the biggest hearts, the visionaries of humanity coming together and creating this new intelligence that is like amplified so much more than us by ourselves. And of course, you might be thinking now, we already have actually kind of a manifestation of this in our world, right? Which is obviously the internet. The internet is this energy stream that is connecting us, connecting our minds all over the world. So the internet is kind of a representation of this Aquarian principle. And we can use it to come together in community and organize ourselves in unique ways that was not really possible before. So that brings me to one of the other themes of Aquarius. It's about technology. Because Aquarius is the sign of the future. It's about breaking free from all the old, and it's about reinventing, like what is possible if I don't just follow the old rules, if I dream up something completely new. So Aquarius is for me the sign that is like very free spirited, and it's kind of a sign of avant-garde. It's a sign of being ahead of the curve, which is also something any Aquarians of you who are listening, or if you know Aquarians, that they're often really struggling with, because nobody understands them, because they are already so far ahead. They can see something that the rest of us cannot fully grasp yet. So Aquarians are kind of these visionaries. And we are, of course, all tapped into this energy right now. But just to understand better the Aquarians in your life. So going back, so together with this Uranus energy, what is important to understand is that whenever Uranus is active, which it is very much also in 2024, we're going to have a major alignment in April, which I'm going to be speaking about more. But Uranus is the planet that is set to shake things up. It's like the wild card. Anything can happen. You can never really predict what's going to happen. expect the unexpected, basically. From that point of view, it's also a sign that is connected to revolution, rebellion against the old social norms that are not working anymore. It's the sign of innovation and the sign of breakthroughs, like genius ideas. This sudden boom, everything comes together, and this sudden light bolt of an idea coming through. Aquarius is also the sign of quantum leaps. We're going to be speaking much more about it. So I hope for you as well, as I'm talking about this, it's just so exciting because it's an energy where it's like anything is possible. Let's play. So as we are now moving into this Aquarius season with this strong transition of Pluto moving into the sign of Aquarius, where it's going to be now for most of 2024, and only in the autumn, Pluto will backtrack into Capricorn for the very last time. And then end of the year, Pluto is moving into Aquarius for the next 20 years. So that is going to be a strong energy we're going to be working with. And with Pluto, Pluto is the force of evolution. It's the planet that is connected to power. Pluto is said to be the lord of the underworld. So it rules the subconscious and anything that's hidden in the shadow. So we can expect things around technology, around science, to be really unraveling in these coming months and years. So there will be a big check that everything needs to be in integrity and everything needs to evolve as Pluto is moving through Aquarius. And at the same time, it's this idea of power to the people, power to the communities. So there's a lot of big shifts happening this year. So many say that this is really taking us into this new paradigm of, we are shifting into a new earth. We shift to a new cycle that has been also in many ancient prophecies from the Mayans, from the Vedic tradition, etc. There has been this prediction that there will be an ending of an old age, of a long cycle of thousands and thousands of years, and a new beginning. So this is the times we are in right now. So wow, let's hang on to the ride. And also what we're going to be speaking about is like, what is our role in this time of this great awakening? So as conscious entrepreneurs and as conscious leaders, this is something I'm really, really passionate about, is to ask ourselves, like, what is your role in this time? Do you have a role? Probably if you're tuning into this, you are already feeling that, yes, there is something in you that wants to be expressed, that wants to be born, that wants to be contributed to this new paradigm and to this new world we are creating. So it's really a time to connect to our vision and ask yourself, of course, for your personal life, what is the vision for your life, for your business, for your family, for your loved ones, and then also zooming out on a bigger picture. What is your vision for the world? How would you like to see the world in 10, 20, 50, 100 years from now? I love also there's this book which is called The More Beautiful World Our Hearts Know Is Possible. And for me, that really struck me because I feel that is the truth, right? Our hearts know there is a more beautiful world that is possible. So how can we be part of birthing it into the reality? What we can see with the Age of Aquarius that we're moving in is there's going to be a lot of innovation. There's going to be a lot of new technologies rising. And of course, also a lot of things that we've already seen coming in, even last year with Pluto moving into Aquarius, artificial intelligence, AI. I think we are all probably aware that AI is going to be huge this year. So it's going to impact more and more how we run our business, how we are communicating. It's going to be a complete game changer, like the internet. I'm absolutely sure about that. Of course, there are many questions to be asked around it. My personal take on it is that, like, every technology is a tool, and it depends on how we use it. And most of all, it depends on the level of consciousness that we are bringing to the table as humanity to use these type of tools. So we need to not only evolve our technology, we also need to evolve our level of consciousness. So, but there will be many innovations coming, AI, robotics. Apparently, I've heard flying cars are about to launch. Let me know, please, in the comments, any other things you've heard. Lots of new innovations in the medical field. There's basically a big, big influx coming. And of course, another big one, digital currencies. So how is this all going to play out? But of course, the big elephant in the room with the whole evolution of AI and robotics is like, okay, what is actually going to be uniquely human about us? What makes us uniquely human? And I think that is also a question that we need to really keep in mind with this Aquarian energy. Because, and I didn't mention it before, but the shadow side of Aquarius is that Aquarius can be very detached. So Aquarians can come across as a little bit cool, and they are more connected to the mind, and they can be a little bit spaced out, like out there. So with that, what I feel is really important is that we don't only engage the mind and the science and the analytical things, but we also engage the heart, which is what gives us our uniquely human qualities of compassion, of intuition, of love, that we need to cultivate as much. We are now in a time where the timelines are going to split. So there are two different ways this can go. And I think many of us have seen this in the last year. One timeline is going to be control and fear and maybe manipulation with technology, this kind of making science God, what we have seen as well. And the other timeline is going to be expansion, love, and actually a higher consciousness. Because the sign of Aquarius is also the sign of awakening. Aquarius is, as I mentioned earlier, is connected to jumps in consciousness. So it's not gradual evolution, but it's actually a quantum leap. So Aquarius is also, and Uranus is connected to Kundalini awakening, the Kundalini energy starting to flow and stream in our body, and then also this liberation and enlightenment that we can experience. So for me, this is a really beautiful vision for humanity. And coming back again to the swarm theory, there's only a certain percentage of us that is needed in order to swap over to the whole. So only a part of us needs to stay in these high frequencies in order for everyone to be uplifted as well. So I feel there's these two things as we're moving into the Age of Aquarius, Age of Aquarius and into Aquarius season. And the invitation for you to reflect about when you're listening to this is the one, it's about freedom. So Aquarius is per excellence the sign of freedom. And especially if we see freedom in this context versus control. So what is true freedom for you? What does that look like? What makes you feel free? And how can you create more freedom in your life and in your business? I feel that's a really beautiful question to ask ourselves in this time as entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is also very much connected to Aquarius energy. Many Aquarians are entrepreneurs and have been for a long time because it's a very independent energy. So entrepreneurship gives us this freedom to be very independent in a way and to be our own boss and not follow someone else's rules, which is definitely what Aquarians appreciate. How can you be an ambassador of freedom, of equality, and of free thinking in the world? And then the second part to look at is about this liberation, this freedom, this higher level of freedom, which is liberation. And in the yogic teachings, there's actually the purpose of yoga in itself is liberation. It is moksha. It is the ultimate freedom, the liberation also from the cycles of karma, and also liberation from ignorance, from being in this illusion that the yogis talk about, Maya, which is actually this whole reality is not really what it seems. So through this jump in consciousness, we can start to really understand who we truly are, how powerful we truly are, and that we are ultimately free and sovereign beings. And so all of this just throwing into the mix as we are moving through these powerful times of what many say is the Great Awakening, humanity reaching a new level of consciousness. And by the way, ancient civilizations have also had very high levels of consciousness. If you think about the Mayan culture, about the pyramids in Egypt, etc. So there have been times on Earth where we've had very high consciousness. So now it seems that we are going through an even more exciting jump. So let's dream big and see how we can be part of it, how we can contribute to it, and really lead into this new world together. So with this, please remember that your gift is needed, especially in these times. So go out there and share your magic. Thank you for listening to the Moon Tribe podcast with me, Simona Shimanovic. I'd love to share my free abundance meditation with you. Go to simonashimanovic.com and join the tribe.